Y'all niggas is in trouble.
Oh, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name. I want to say welcome to Intimate Conversations. This is a place where we conversate and try to bridge the gap between people, men and women, things of that nature. Just get your perspective on things and, hear a couple of your stories or whatever.
Okay.
So I start off with uh what is your name and how old are you?
Rocki Jean, I'm 36.
Okay. And where are you from?
I live in Atlanta right now.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm a director, producer, creative artist.
Okay. So what are the pros and cons of being a creative?
The pros are being able to do anything I want. I feel like I don't have to work for anybody. I can always find a way to do something and just, have the big ideas that, make the big dollars. So that's the dope part. The cons are I almost can't turn it off.
Facts.
Enjoy a movie, I can't look at anything without analyzing it or wondering how they did it or wishing I could have been a part of it or in it or you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's, that's really it. I wouldn't
Okay.
trade
Facts. And what would you say is your best and worst career moment?
my best career and worst career moment might have been the same situation, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Um, I got hired to work for Kevin Hart.
Showtime.
See how the motherfuckers is breaking this shit down with passion.
So I was doing his social media and in that camp for a while, and then I got fired from there. So that sucked. Uh,
So did they give you a reason?
I honestly, I just his photographer. I don't think we kind of bumped heads. Like he told me basically to go shine.
Right.
Uh, I think he was just kind of finding a reason to get rid of me. People were just kind of starting to talk about me around the studio, and he wanted to start putting his name on stuff he didn't have nothing to do with, and it just started getting real weird,
Right.
So I think honestly, I think he saw me as a threat and just didn't want me around
Yeah, I seen that a lot. I know that you're a gamer.
for sure.
So how did that come about, you getting in the games, and what is your favorite game?
Man, that depends on the genre because I love RPGs. Like my favorite game is Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
And like Zelda, like the Legend of Zelda, that storyline, I think they're so fire. But my favorite game to play is Call of Duty. Because I love the competition. I love shooting games. I don't really play the campaigns anymore. I just get right into Warzone. That's really been my thing lately.
Right.
But I've been a gamer my whole life. Like my parents bought me
Okay.
everything since I was little, like every game system that came out. So I just kind of always had a thing.
So what is your favorite game console?
Uh, honestly, it might be Xbox because it's like loyalty. But
Okay.
when I had my PlayStation, I like the graphics and just the way it moved better. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? But my following and my friends are on Xbox.
Right.
So the
Yeah, I've always been
oh,
pro PlayStation just because I think I like the controller, the feel of the controller better
yeah,
with PlayStation.
like the Xbox took a minute to get used to. Like
Right. So are you the online player that's like cussing everybody out?
no,
You don't play online?
heck, if you start with me for sure, but like I'm not really on that.
Okay.
I'd rather just get to the point. I'd rather the camaraderie, like, yo, let's get this dub. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't like telling people what to do. It just is,
Mm.
I just like good vibes.
Okay, what is your love background, or I'm gonna say, how did you come up as a kid? Like, are you a only child, or do you come from a single parent household? How is your, childhood experience?
Oh, no, yeah, my parents were married. I'm the second child, the baby. I have one sister. She's 9 years older than me. And I was born in New York, and they moved us to the Poconos when I was like 2. So I grew up in the mountains, kind of isolated, honestly, because my parents still worked in New York. So I had like nannies and babysitters.
Yeah.
Um, but like they were together until I was in high school.
Okay, so would you say you was more a daddy's girl or girly girl with the mom?
Probably more of a daddy's girl. Like I mean, both my parents had their thing, like because my mom, like, she'd do anything for me. Like she'd give you the shirt off her back. Like she was just a very like loving and like gentle woman. But I think I look like my dad, and people always like, oh, you look like your dad, and you know what I'm saying. So you just kind of, and he had the musical thing with him, so he was always trying to get me to sing, or they always supported anything I wanted to do in like the arts or whatever. So like I had equal love, I think, for both. But I think because I looked like my dad, it was more like,
Right.
daughter, that's your daughter.
Right, right. So, since you're a creative person, do you say you've seen the most raw talent? Because I know, like, you move around, you travel a little bit. So, where do you think you've seen the most raw talent?
Honestly, everywhere. Like all the major cities, like I mean Philly for sure got a lot of raw talent, but like I'm discovering a lot of raw talent in Atlanta. It's really like the underground scene. Like I was in LA for 10 years. I did a show called Sounds of the Underground. So I saw a whole bunch of talent there, like just bands and artists that you just wouldn't hear of, but they had like, dope stuff. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just I think there's just talent everywhere, man.
Okay, so what is this thing that you call love story? Is this a metaphor or is this a real life love story?
A Boy Story.
Right.
Yeah, that's my show based off of relationships in life with men. Like not just like, as like a sexual, it's like, platonic, just the men that have just ran my life in some kind of way. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, um I just want to show that perspective because I don't come from like, the typical area. Like I don't have like a typical upbringing, and a lot of things in my life just feel like they're straight from a movie. So I'm just ready to tell those stories.
Okay, and how do you know that you're in love?
I feel like it's when you will kind of like not do anything for a person, but like you just want to see them like happy. So it's like you want to spend time with them, you want to see them happy, you want to help them, you just want to be around them even when you're mad. You don't mind if they're in the other room just doing, you know what I mean? Like y'all don't have to be talking. I think once you feel that way, and they give that feeling inside, like you just feel like safe and happy you know
And what is your current situation? Are you in something? Are you in search of something? Are you just chilling? What is your situation?
I'm chilling, but I'm like open to that.
Right.
It's just kind of like I'm not looking for it, but I welcome it. But
Right.
if it's here, I'm kind of like, is it cool? Is it safe? I don't
Right.
know.
Right. So I know that you have many hats, you're a director, you've done it all.
hmm
Are you transitioning into singing now? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I've actually been singing my whole life. It
Okay.
just like I was in chorus band. Like I've been pretty musical like my whole life. I just was more of a visual artist. Like I was doing paintings. I just knew I was gonna make video games. So that's what I went to college for, like that side of things. And I would do little things like produce on the side, like try to jump on songs. Like I have some embarrassing things from like 2000, 2009. But yeah, I just realized like I ended up kind of just doing everything for everybody else. And when people would get the fruits of their labor, like they just, not saying they owe me anything, but I just realized I didn't have enough of a stake in the situation to live off of it. Like, you have an artist that, blows up and they don't necessarily have to take you, they don't necessarily have to pay you what you deserve for a video,
Right.
or whatever. And it's just like you're at the mercy of what people feel like paying you. And
Right.
that's like, that left me in a crazy place where I couldn't feed my kids. You know,
Right.
I'm like bringing people to crazy levels and making, like, putting them in spotlights, and it's just like, wow, like I can't even survive. And
Right.
and nobody cares, like, for real, for real. I mean, people care, but like they don't care enough to be like, hey, here's an extra something, like you've been suffering and you've done this for me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and I'm not mad at anybody for it, but at the same time I have to change my narrative, because if I'm doing all this marketing for everybody else, like why can't I market myself? you
Right.
know Especially when I have a story to tell, especially when people come to me for all like the big ideas, like I could use these ideas on myself. So
Right. So can you explain I would say would you feel is the process behind the work that goes in and you filming, editing, and then, making it come to life of a 4-minute video? How long I need to you to explain to the people how long this process takes behind the scenes.
honestly, it depends. Like there are times where like I can just vision something right away and I have access to things and people, and then there's sometimes it just like, man, it's going to take us a while to get to here, or to afford this, or to get everybody on the same page so that we can be all available the same day. And then once you get the footage, forget about it, because now you gotta color grade and have a lovely time by yourself with the computer. um,
Right.
so
So
that part.
what is the average hours that you put in, editing?
In a video,
Right.
I mean, honestly, now I could probably do a video in like a day. Like if I really sat there for 12 hours straight, I could probably do it.
Right.
But I don't like doing it to myself, and it's kind
Right.
of. So in reality, I ask people to give me a week so I can do a couple hours a day. If they need effects or something, I usually say 3 weeks. But there are times where I've taken way longer because it just wasn't in the budget to pay attention
Right.
to what, like,
Right.
the reality. Like, if you sacrifice money, you sacrifice time. So, sorry, y'all. You know who you are.
Right. All right. So along your personal love journey, what do you think are your greatest assets and your biggest flaw?
I think my greatest assets are, I'm extremely loyal, and
Mhm.
like I want to see people win.
Right.
Um Almost to that being a fault. Like I almost want to see them win too much that I put myself on the back burner.
Right.
And I also expect people to treat me the way I treat them, and I get upset when they don't.
Right.
Um and I've learned that about myself, but that also teaches me to just kind of be on my own type time, because it's like if I expect you to be good to me the way I'm good to you, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed. So I just have to pick people that deserve that because they're reciprocating that effortlessly, instead of forcing somebody that won't
Right.
do it.
Right. So did you say that's your biggest flaw, not knowing that putting those expectations on people?
I would, off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay, I'm not mad at that. And what is the best and the worst thing that has happened to you in your life?
Ooh wee. Uh, the best thing would probably be my kids.
Mhm.
That's
How many kids?
two.
Okay. More
And
kids?
huh?
Are you open to more kids or are you done?
I want to be done, but I don't know if I'm meant to be done.
Right.
So I'm just leaving that to God. But
Mhm.
the experience is not well for me. Like I don't do well with pregnancy.
Mhm.
I do well. Like like I'm fine. Like people, I'm not like mean or anything, but I just get sick. Like
Right.
I do nothing. Like I'm probably gonna need help getting some food. Like like I just can't function. So it sucks for anybody that has to deal with me because I literally turn into a baby.
Mhm.
I'm throwing up the whole time. So it's like the actual baby don't bother me. It's the process.
Right. Right. Right.
Like, oh goodness, I lose weight every time too. Like the way women gain weight, like I dropped a baby and I look like I lost 20 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm that sick. So, oh Lord,
Okay, and what would you say would be the worst thing that has happened to you?
losing my first child.
Mhm. Sorry to hear that. Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Okay, and so how is family life with two kids? Are you co-parenting or are you doing on everything on your own?
It's more co-parenting, and he has the kids.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like it just kind of worked out that way, and like I offered to have them with me, but he prefers to have them, and I'm not gonna fight him on that. Like we still talk every day. Like I'm on the phone with my kids every day. Like you know what I mean. So it's definitely like I read books to them, and it's just I can't physically touch them, but like I'm still there. Like I still take care of them. Pay what I need to pay. So
Mm.
you know what I'm saying.
And what was the breakup point? What was, what happened?
I just feel like it got a little too it was a little too I don't want to say toxic, but it just wasn't going down a good road.
Okay.
And I was doing way too much to the point where um I just didn't see him changing fast enough. Like he was definitely growing, but it just I don't know, it wasn't the position I wanted to play. And like he just had some growing to do.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. So how would you say are you a communicator or you're a person that shuts down?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I try my best to communicate,
Right.
and if it gets toxic, I shut down because
Right.
I don't do well with arguments, and I just don't like wasting my time on trying to prove each other wrong or right.
Right.
So it's like if we can't talk it out and have a meaningful conversation, like I'd rather just go take a walk or something, or just let's figure out something else because it's not it.
Yeah, I can dig it. So are you aware of your triggers?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as like a person, do you know what you want in a guy? Like, what is your type? Do you have preferences? What is your type in guys? Like, what is the absolute things that you need in your partner?
What I want. I want someone that believes in me as much as I believe in them, and doesn't get has their emotions in check.
Mhm.
Just doesn't get offended by things too easily. Just willing to communicate. Really good at communication, and just having goals, like having similar type goals that I have.
And do you have a preference type? Like, do you like short, tall, fat, skinny? What is your preference like?
I mean, I don't have a preference. Like, I would prefer some. I wouldn't want someone that's shorter than me. I think just because just the naturally the feeling safe thing. I
Right.
don't know. I'm not that tall though either, so that's not really a big ask.
How tall are you?
5'5".
Okay. Okay.
Um, and I don't mind skinny, bigger. If he's bigger, he definitely gotta come work out with me just because I just like
Right.
healthier. Like I don't need life, getting cut short because you can't control what you eat or whatever. So that's really, you know, I don't
So
know. I like
so how is the Atlanta dating scene? Because I've heard it could be tricky.
it is. I don't really know too much about it. I don't know. I like I've gotten some numbers and like I don't know. I got so much on my plate. Like if it comes to me, it comes to me. But I don't know.
All right. So how do you think that we can, compromise on what's going on in the gender wars? Like if I said
Oh,
give
see,
me give me a solution for like give me
I'm
one for
not
women.
for none of these crazy people out here. I can't. I literally bow out of conversations. I don't know what to do about nothing for nobody. I feel like everybody is taking things out on each other based off of their toxic situations, and they can't find it in themselves to just be like, let me see the other side. Let me not take offense and try to help this person be the better. If I think that the other side is so horrible, what can I do to find the middle ground? I don't think anybody's trying to do that. So I'm just I just stay out of it because the women don't want to, submit to a man that isn't proving his worthiness of leadership. You know what I'm saying? And then men aren't trying to prove their worthiness of leadership to women that won't submit to a man. So like y'all niggas is in trouble.
Fact. Fact.
That's all
Facts.
I say. Shoot.
All right, and I also ask each guest, because I find that sometimes women have a hard time asking their person or men that's close to them because of how that's going to come back to them. So if you could ask a man, is there any questions that you would want to ask a man? And I'll give you a question from I'll give you an answer from my perspective. What is the question that you would like to ask a man?
I ask. I don't. I ask already. Like anything I want to know. Like I don't have a problem asking anybody
Okay.
because it just and it's also subjective. Like whatever answer I'm looking for, that's not gonna matter with this guy versus that guy versus that guy. So like if I had a right now, your answer might not matter to the person that you know what I'm saying, like talking or whatever. So it's just I don't know. I prefer to just kind of focus on the situation at hand and finding out what I can about that person and if that even makes sense for me.
Okay, so what are we doing with this love story thing? Where is it going? What's the next thing? What's the next steps in it?
So I shot 3 scenes so far. But I'm looking for the budget to really just kind of have a couple days where I could hire the actors and get more scenes with the younger version of me, because it goes back to me in like college and high school. So, I need to cast somebody for that. And but I'm working on the soundtrack in the meantime because it's really important for me to do the soundtrack and the movie.
Facts.
So, you know, while I'm figuring out the budget situation, I'm working on the soundtrack.
Okay, could you tell the people where they can find the music, where to follow you, all your social media tags, all of that.
Okay, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Rocki Jean, ROCKIJEAN. Same thing on YouTube. Those are the two I'm focused on right now. So, you know, find me there.
Okay, so I know the name change. What sparked that?
I had a few people tell me that that's probably what I should do. And honestly, I was kind of debating because like Shannon just didn't seem like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like a director. Like this, I grew up on Hype Williams and Lil X, and I'm over here like Shannon.
Right. Right.
So and on top of that, like moved across the country, and I just was just like, let me just separate the learning me, because in Philly, even though like I was like one of the top directors in Philly, it still was like a learning experience every time, like you know what I mean. So I just saw myself at a different level and saw myself doing different things that I thought
Right.
it was a good time to just be like, this is the woman, like
Right.
that's the not not the one trying to figure out Philly,
Right.
doing
Okay,
all the
so
rap videos.
right. So what is your masterpieces, I would say. So if you like, are you, what is your movie like genre? Are you romance? Are you comedy? Are you, what is your favorite thing as a visual?
My personal favorite thing to watch is suspense,
Okay.
but I think my favorite thing to shoot will probably be like drama comedy.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really like it a lot, and I did a sitcom pilot when I was working for Kevin Hart. I had the keys to the studio.
Mm.
So if he wasn't working on nothing, like I could just use it. So I ended up putting together a sitcom. It's kind of like Friends. It's called Broke.
Okay.
Uh, but again, there wasn't a budget to finish it. So I did what I could. I shot everything. Like, so I'm editing. And I have a couple of the scenes out. But the bigger story of that is getting people's stories about being broke that found success. So I have about 12 or 13 interviews now. Wrote Timmy on My Broke Stories.
There's a meeting in my bed.
So for me, it was 2013. I was broke. I had no cash. I had to stay in a motel for about a month and a half, east side of Hollywood Boulevard. And luckily, the manager of the motel like really rocked with my dream of just wanting to be an artist, an actor, musician. And he was like, man, instead of giving it for you for $30 a night, bro, I'm gonna make sure you can get it 15. And it was roaches. It was just God, and I had no team, I had no management, no nothing. It was just me hustling. And I said, you know what? Let me just bet on myself and let this money. If I go broke even more than this, I did it swinging, and ended up having like $10 left before I ended up booking Power. So it was a moment in time for me for sure.
Because that's like the other side of it. It's like a hand in hand. The person in real life, whatever their situation was, the sitcom people experience it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I plan on eventually having episodes of all the interviews that I had. Like I got one from Franklin. Like he told me about when he was about to be, or he got evicted, and all
Mm.
he had was some songs, and that ended up being like his first album. Or Miss Jade when she was talking about how she was, on top with Missy and Timbaland, and then she ended up getting a DUI, and like, she fell off or whatever, and it's really cool and inspiring to see those things and hear them, and then just see where they're at now. So. Um, I'm
Yeah,
excited about
I definitely love those behind the scene things like unsung and things of that nature. I'm a fan of that. So
it. Yeah.
are you dropping
So
those? Like, are they on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, there's 2 on there right now. There's 3 on my Instagram. It has its own Instagram, at My Broke Stories. So there's
Okay.
3 up there and pieces of the episode and just to roll out. Just even like songs that relate to being broke, then like music videos that relate to being broke. Like there's a playlist for it. Like it's just kind of, you know, themed out of, hard times, the struggle.
So
So
what's your favorite or what's the movie that you've seen a million times?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. All right. I want to say thank you for coming on Intimate Conversations. Um
No problem.
I'm gonna make sure to put your social media things scrolling across. And
Okay.
my last question would be, what is the 5-year plan?
Um, Opening a production studio and having the movies out
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Not
for
mad at
sure.
that. All right. Thanks for coming on. Let me see if I have anything else for you. Um, no, I think that's it.
Okay. I
That's it.
appreciate the
No problem. Career versus relationship. Where do you stand on that?
you got both
Got both. Okay.
for sure.
No doubt. No doubt. And favorite love language.
Mm, Probably touch.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Physical touch.
hmm.
All right. Thanks for coming on. This is Intimate Conversations. Make sure everybody like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for all upcoming episodes of Intimate Conversations. This is Rocki Jean. I am Tailor Made. We are signing out. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Bye bye.
Oh, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your